It's Mahomes, Brady, Super Bowl,
Yes.
history of the sport and life. It's what every fan or a million of them wanted.
After a 50-year wait between their second and third Super Bowl appearances, the Kansas City Chiefs fans have only had to wait 12 months for their fourth. But standing in their way of becoming only the 8th champion to repeat in NFL history is one Tom Brady, who will be making his 10th trip to the big game. Super Bowl 55 is upon us and we are going to preview it. Before we get into where this game is going to be won or lost, I want to stake for the two quarterbacks. I would like to introduce the man who introduced me to American football, George. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm not man.
My first question to you is, if Patrick Mahomes loses this game to Tom Brady, can he ever catch up to him as the GOAT?
I've been thinking about this the past few days, mainly because in like the American media, mainly Stephen A. Smith has been saying about, he's basically been saying that Mahomes can never be the GOAT if he doesn't win. And at first I thought like that's a bit ridiculous because Mahomes is in his fourth, fourth season. He's already a Super Bowl MVP, could possibly win MVP of the league this year.
Oh, third season starting. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And he could already have his second Super Bowl in his third season as a starter. So I understand why Stephen A says that Mahomes could never be the GOAT if he doesn't win. But American football to me is different than, say, basketball or football, where these two quarterbacks, like, they don't play defense. So let's say, for example, the Chiefs put up 35 points, but the Bucs put up 45. Like, you can't really say Mahomes has played. You can't use that as a disadvantage to Mahomes and say that he could never be the GOAT because it's unfair to him. He still put up 35 points in the Super Bowl. But then I can also see why he's saying it, because obviously it's a matchup between the two. And he'd say, if Brady's put up 45, you should put up 50. So I can see both sides of the argument. But for me personally, I think that if he does lose, I don't think this would tarnish his GOAT resume too much.
So who's under more pressure for you going into this game? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Obviously, he's trying to catch Tom Brady as the GOAT, or is it Tom Brady himself as everybody thinks that he is the GOAT, and GOATs have got to do GOAT things pretty much, haven't they? They can't believe.
I'd probably say Mahomes is under the more pressure. I don't think Brady can be under any pressure. I mean,
no, I agree.
He's already won 6 Super Bowls. He's changed to a new team. Everyone used to say he was a system quarterback. He's changed to a new team, and he's 43 years old or whatever, however old he is. And he's took them to the Super Bowl in his first season. So I don't think Brady would feel any pressure.
Outside of two quarterbacks, where are the other areas that we should be looking at closely? Where are the other X factors across the field?
Well, for the Chiefs, I think because they're playing the Bucs, who obviously during the regular season were the best run defense in the league in terms of yards per carry and yards per game, only one player that they faced all year hit 100 yards in a game against the Bucs run defense. So I think that if the Chiefs can possibly unlock that, if they unlock the run game, then they've got two. We all know that the Chiefs are going to be able to throw it in the air. Like their offense has never been stopped in terms of passing. But if you try and if they get success running the ball, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Le'Veon Bell find some success there, I feel like that can make a massive, massive change to the dynamic of the game for the Chiefs anyway. But in terms of for the Bucs, I'd say that it's been their standout defender, Devin White. Oh, he missed the first wild card game against Washington because obviously the COVID protocols and everything. But I've got some little stats here that against the Saints, He led the team with 11 tackles, recovered a fumble, and made an interception. Against the Packers, the very next game, he led the team with 15 tackles and got another fumble recovery. So I think for me, the Bucs, he is the Bucs X factor on defense. He needs to be their leader and try to carry on his form that he showed throughout the playoffs so far.
So we've got Edwards-Helaire / Le'Veon Bell on the Chiefs offense, and we've got Devin White on the Bucs defense. So we need to flip that round. Who are the X factors for you on the Bucs' offense and the Chiefs' defense?
Chiefs defense, probably Honey Badger. I mean, he's probably their best defender. If they're going to make a play, it's likely to be him in terms of his coverage or, fumble recovery, similar to how Devin White is the Bucs' leader. The Bucs offense X factor for me, it's probably their number one guy, Mike Evans. Like, obviously, he's their best receiver, and if he has a good game, then it's likely that the Bucs are putting up some serious numbers, some serious touchdowns on the board. So, what about you? What do you think?
I'll start with the offense and defense for the Bucs. So for me, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for them to win this game on defense, I agree with you. Their X factor has to be Devin White, mainly because I don't believe in their corners, that their corners can stop Tyreek Hill, Mecole Hardman. Sammy Watkins should be back.
Yeah.
And if they can't stop them, that's going to be a massive problem. But who I think could possibly stop Travis Kelce would be Devin White, because he's got the speed to keep up with him. In the first matchup between them two, a lot of Devin White's action was blitzing, so he was going after Patrick Mahomes rather than staying with Travis Kelce, and they found that out. Especially in the second half when they started doubling up Tyreek Hill after he went off in the first half, it was just Travis Kelce doing all the damage and just doing it in the intermediate game. But he's got the pace and he's actually got the size and physical strength to maybe slow down Kelce a bit.
Yeah, so, you're never going to stop Kelce, are you? You've just got to try and slow him down as much as possible.
If you can get Kelce under 100 yards, you take that as a win. Even if he gets 90, you just take that as a win, because he's getting 100 yards every game, it seems like. But on the offense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who I think is the X factor, I think it's Gronk or Cameron Braith. So one of their two tight ends. Cornerbacks, we saw it against the Bills and throughout the season. The Chiefs' cornerbacks are actually pretty decent, mainly because of their safety, like you said, Honey Badger, who covers really well for the corners. But the middle linebackers and the linebackers, unlike the Buccaneers, they're not that good. They can be got at. They've got, I think it was the 27th worst passer rating against tight ends. So they're really bad when it comes to like their middle area throws. So I think Tom Brady they'll do their research, they'll notice, they'll get a lot of success doing that, and they'll probably do it. And especially with Gronk has been there, he's done this before with Brady in the Super Bowl. So I think just watch out for him. I don't know if he's got much left in the tank, but if he has, he needs it for Sunday.
You just feel like Gronk has been like relatively quiet all year. Like, he's not been the sort of player he was on the Patriots. Obviously, he retired, and now he's come back because of Brady moving to the Bucs. And he's not been the same sort of player. And it kind of makes you think, like, is he saving it for the Super Bowl? Did he know the whole time they were going to get here? And now that he's in the Super Bowl, is Brady going to target him more? And I do agree that it was a toss-up for me between Evans and Gronk. I just feel like Evans has been there week in, week out, apart from when he's obviously been injured. So I feel like if Evans went off...
I mean, with Gronk as well, it's good to know he had his best game of the season against the Chiefs. But yeah, flipping onto the other side, on the defensive side, for me, the X factor for the Chiefs is Chris Jones. So him getting pressure inside, that's how you'll nerve Brady. If you get pressure from the outside, so Frank Clark or even quarterback blitzes, Tom Brady can just step up. He's not going to run. You're not going to try and contain him in a pocket, because that's what he wants. So he's just going to step forward and then throw it. But if you get pressure from the inside and you collapse that pocket for him, then he's in trouble. Like you say, he's just going to take a sack or fall on the floor. He's not. He knows it's a Super Bowl. He's not just going to be throwing it willy-nilly all over the place. But yeah, so that's quite explanatory, but explains itself. But for me, the X factor on offense as well, it's Mecole Hardman. It's not Tyreek Hill or Travis Kelce, actually. It's Mecole Hardman. To counter react your point about running game, I don't think they can run the ball. They're just not good at running the ball. And the fact that they're coming up against the number one defense for running, for me, it just says, instead of trying to persevere to something that you're not good at, but if you for example, let's say they have a good game. I mean, last year's Super Bowl, they had that good rushing game, didn't they?
Yeah,
that was one of the main reasons they won. Maybe you dominate them, but I can't see them. Clyde Edwards-Helaire running for 100 yards. I can't see that happening at all. But
I can't see it happening either. But I just think that if it was going to happen, then there's no better game to do it, is there?
Yeah, sure. But to go back with Mecole Hardman, in the first game when they played each other, he had a few good runs, and there was one. I think it was up by 2 scores near the end of the game. Patrick Mahomes threw a bad pass to him, but if he would have got him, he would have been wide open, because in the second half, they decided to just double up on Travis Kelce and on Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
But then, if you watch Mecole Hardman closely, he's almost as fast as Tyreek Hill. So if you've got him as not your first option, not your third, probably not even your fourth option behind Sammy Watkins, Kelce and Hill. Maybe even Robinson could be ahead of him. That's really scary, because he can easily beat one man or run straight into a zone and break off for a touchdown. So yeah, for me, it's Mecole Hardman and Chris Jones on the Chiefs side. George, bro, so who's going to win the game for you and why?
I've been tossing. This is a toss-up for me. That I feel like they're both two very good offensive teams. They're both similarly good defensively, both sides of the ball. I think I'm going to go with Chiefs. I just can't see Mahomes, Hill. I can't see the Bucs stopping all three: Mahomes, Hill, or Kelce. Personally, I just can't see it. Like, it's unstoppable, the Chiefs' offense, and it's yet to be slowed down. So I know you'll be happy about that I've predicted the Chiefs, but yeah, I just can't see them losing.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Chiefs were my pick, no surprise, from the very first day. But my reasoning is pretty similar to yours. I mean, the way that Tyreek and Travis Kelce play, and Mahomes plays as well, they're all just interlinked, they're all connected, like all of their games just fit. So Tyreek Hill's going down the field and he's going to take the top off your defense, whereas Travis Kelce will just come close and play the intermediate routes. So if you're going to take away Travis Kelce, you're going to have to give up Tyreek Hill, and vice versa. If you're going to take away Tyreek Hill, you have to give up Travis Kelce. And Mahomes has just got so many weapons. Like you say, even if they somehow do manage to take both of them out, you've got other players. You've got other players who can make plays. You've got Sammy Watkins, Mecole Hardman. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I'm going 37 Chiefs, 30 Bucks. So more than 60 points. It's going to be a
that's quite bold.
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I've thought a Super Bowl is going to be high-scoring, it's just not been at all. So I think there was I can't remember, it wasn't last year's Super Bowl, it might have been the year before, when it was the Rams.
Yeah, Patriots.
Yeah, and it was just probably the most boring American football game I might have ever watched. So I think that one team in this Super Bowl isn't going to score for me, and I think that'll be the Bucs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably go 32-17 Chiefs.
Just to wrap it up, thanks to George for coming through again just to discuss the Super Bowl. And Yeah, we're looking forward to a great game.
Yeah.
George, where can we find you, man? And yeah.
Just on my socials, Twitter _George Bradshaw, Instagram just George Bradshaw 2 W's. And yeah, let's have a good game on Sunday.